Yeah, I like the fact that when they dropped the video, you had the kid, especially when he kicked in the speaker. And
Yes.
put it, I was like, oh,
That was my jam, boy. I remember that. I don't know how old you are.
Uh,
I'm 51.
and see, I'm 54.
Nice. See, the over 50 club.
I just had a birthday yesterday.
Hey, happy birthday,
Thank
my
you.
brother. Happy
Thank you.
birthday.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So of course, we remember when Microphone Fiend came out and the video dropped. You know, we getting the CD or the tape,
Mm-hmm.
and we going into the back, pulling out because Rakim, lyrical God MC,
Yeah.
we were like, yo, what's he rapping about?
You had to read the lyrics.
You had to read the lyrics,
had
and
to
you
read
had
the
to learn those lyrics.
Right.
You had to learn those.
Right.
Yeah. So that
That was the magic, especially when you bought a cassette and you pull out that fold, that tripod, that fold.
Yes.
And you reading all the lyrics and
you trying to listen. I was a fiend before I became a teen. I milked the microphone instead of cones and ice cream music orientated. You're like, hold up, rewind that back. What do you say? Cones, ice cream music orientated. So when hip hop was originated, I did it like pieces of puzzle, complicated. Like, oh my god, man.
Right.
That was my dude. Cause I grabbed the mic and try to say yes, y'all. They try to take it,
And say what?
and I'm too small. Cool.
But I don't get upset. I kick a
hole
hole in the speaker, pull a plug, then I jet, wear it back to the lab. That
Without
line
a
right
mi-
there.
That was oh my
Back
god.
to
That
the
whole
lab. Back to the lab became the famous cut. Back to the lab.
That's right. That's right.
He had the kind of lyrics you had to read.
You had to read those lyrics.
If you start looking at songs like "Follow the Leader,"
Yeah. Rakim will say,
Rakim,
man,
Rakim for president,
Yeah.
or Eric B. as
Eric
president.
B for president. That's right.
I used to. It was so many of his songs.
Mahogany. Like I used to love Mahogany,
my
bro.
God,
That
no,
was
you
my
didn't say
joint. Mahogany was my joint,
I'm
bro.
gonna play that when I leave out here. That song I love so much, especially the beat. The way that beat was.
Mahogany was my jam, boy. I was in the when did Mahogany come out? 94?
I don't know. I think
Yeah.
it's earlier than that. Check it right quick. 'Cause
Man, cause
I want to say I'm kind of saying that I might have still been in high school.
yo, but okay, when did Mahogany come out? You'll get 1990.
See,
I was
see, you was about in the ninth, right?
I was.
You was in the ninth, cause see, 90 is when I graduated.
Yeah, see, I graduated in 93.
Yeah. So,
Well, yeah, because I was in Sure enough.
yeah.
Sure enough. Man, just oh my
What
God.
was the first line of Mahogany? You remember?
Oh, do I remember or do I need to read it?
No, you don't got a cheat sheet.
Me and Eric B was cooling at the Palladium.
What's the next line? What he rhyme Palladium with?
Seen an all world covered girl. I said, "Hey lady, like that beat was so cold. That was so cold, bro. Like
It was a really even now that beat is cold right now.
cold, bro. Like
Yeah.
who we rolling with? Are we rolling with Rush? Like,
Yeah,
see,
Rush
y'all don't
Man.
know about that. Y'all don't know
Yeah.
about that. And then the intro and then the outro was like a minute long.
Yeah.
It was like, oh my goodness. But
Those were journeys, man.
they were journeys, man. That was the beauty of hip hop back in the day, is that it took you on a journey, especially when somebody like Rakim, who's a great storyteller,
Yeah.
and an amazing MC, someone who was very good with wordplay and usage and rhyme schemes. I mean, when Rakim came out, he was like, everybody was like, yo, that's why they called him the God MC.
Right.
Because of his ability to do, oh my gosh, after 12, I'm worse than a gremlin.
He did. When Paid in Full dropped, it was so fresh, so new, because it's like Rakim ushered in the new style, the new era, the new trend. It was like the next phase of hip hop coming out of like the ha 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 hip hop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No, because I grew up with the Fat Boys. I grew up with
Me too.
all them. So they still was teetering with that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But he took it to the place of like, okay, now it had became very cerebral. The lyrics became very cerebral to the point where like now I had never, being in Florida where I was at, I didn't know about God Body and 5%.
Mm-hmm.
I learned all that stuff through hip hop.
Through hip hop.
That was my bridge to it. Then you start listening to groups like the Brand Nubians and all these groups that had enlightenment. Big Daddy Kane, and Kane stand for King Asiatic, nobody's equal.
See,
King,
nobody.
you know
See,
what I'm
who
saying?
don't know?
You
You
know
got
what
to
I'm
be a
saying?
real hip hop
You gotta
person
be
to know
real-
that. You know what I'm
KRS
saying?
One,
Knowledge reigns supreme over nearly everyone.
You know, so
Like,
you know
but
that's the thing.
but that's the historicalness of hip hop and understanding the genesis of hip hop
Yeah.
and the foundation and why these artists created the culture that they created
Exactly.
from that perspective within
Exactly.
hip hop. Like it was conscious. It had message and it had substance
Yes.
and foundation to hip hop. That's probably why I still only listen. If you were to look at my Apple playlist, everybody say, "Yeah, you're an old head," but call me whatever you want to call me. But when you listen to my playlist, I have a '90s hip hop playlist.
Same here. I'm guilty.
I got a '90s R&B playlist,
Same here.
and it's like
because we know, we understand the foundation, and it's like I can appreciate new music now, but when I really want to get back to something that's familiar with my spirit, my essence, and I want to hear the bricks that were laid before I see the building now, I go back and listen to, like I was listening to just earlier today, MC Light's Poor Georgie. Georgie, and I was like, oh my God, I used to love this song. Georgie, poor G had too much on his mind. Even that was a great story because she talked about being in a relationship with a guy he died from drinking. And it was like the messages, like we'll never have another self-destruction or
Never.
same game.
never.
Come on, same.
We're
it's
never
like,
gonna
come
have
on.
another. And you know what's so crazy? Out of everybody on self-destruction, the only verse that I really remember:
What's that?
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro. Funky fresh, dressed to impress, ready to party. Money in your pocket, down the booty. Like that was the only.
That was Light's first.
That
verse.
was Light's verse.
Do you know the story behind that verse?
I do. About the whole LL Cool J. Yeah.
Because he wrote that for.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
You
lost
know-
a little credibility for him after that, though.
Why is that?
Because, now don't give him, that's my
That's
man.
interesting.
That's my man. But I lost a little credibility for him at that time. He's still my dude, but he didn't want to be in the song.
That's true.
And I was like,
He
come on.
should have been.
He was one of the biggest artists at that time. And I felt like he should have been in the song. Though he did lend his pen to it by penning that for Light, I felt like him being in it would have actually even gave it that much star power.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because he was one of the biggest, but let him tell it. I think he was working on a comeback. He was working on an album. And I didn't think he wanted his image and, you know, the ladies love Cool J. I don't know if it kind of it wasn't congruent with what
He was
self-destruction
trying to-
was and what they was trying to promote. But at the end of the day, with everything that was going on in the climate of the world and society and even in the
Yeah.
streets, we was in the crack epidemic at that
Yeah.
time. I think that was the most optimum time for him to lend his voice to something. You know what I'm saying? But he chose not to do it. And that little part kind of put a disdain in my mouth towards him then. I still love LL, but I was like, come on, James Todd Smith.
James Todd.
Come on,
I mean, he
dog.
could. I think he. Yeah.
Yeah, he should have lent. He should
I can
have.
see
He should
that.
have lent his voice. Everybody was there.
Everybody
Come on,
was
dude.
there. I mean,
come on, dude.
man.
But, you know. So other than that, I love LL because Jack the Ripper is one of my favorite songs ever.
Jack the
Jack-
Ripper,
come on,
King
Jack-
Hercules,
Jack the Ripper, he got
Professor
so
of
many
Death of the
songs,
Seven
man.
Seas. Yeah.
You know, I was like,
LL, yeah.
yeah,
LL was that. LL was that dude.
he was.
He was that dude.
He still
He
come
still
around, though.
is.
Still, because his latest album, the last album he just dropped, which was, it was either the beginning of this year or latter part of last year.
It
It was
the song he did with Eminem was
That's what I was about to allude to.
crazy.
Incredible. I mean, like I've never heard nobody actually kind of stand toe to toe with Eminem, and he was there.
He was doing.
He
it.
was there, bro. He was there. Jay didn't even do that on Renegade.
No.
Jay did.
But when
You heard Eminem on Renegade, but on this song with LL and Eminem, LL was like, "Boy, we right here."
But you think about it. I mean, but when you go back and you think about historically, LL's rhyme ability and his ability to kind of battle with others. I mean, think about the battle between him and Big Daddy Kane.
Did he have one with Kane?
Yeah.
See, I remember him in Cannabis.
Him and Cannabis had one, but him and Big Daddy Kane had
Really?
one. Yeah. Because in the rap, Big Daddy Kane was like, you know what LL stand for? Lower, level, lack, luster, last,
Ooh,
least,
I
lip,
think I do
liver,
remember that.
lousy, lame,
think I do
late,
remember
lethargic,
that.
lazy, limit, little, logic, lucky, leech, liver, lips. Like, he was going in. See, I know that because I was like, yo, Kane is giving somebody, he giving LL the
Ooh.
business.
I think
business.
I remember that now that you
The
said.
business. Well, Kane was
Yeah.
like, you don't want to come against Kane. Like,
Now, that's a great question. I will say this because this is one of the studio debates me and my guys. Kane or Rakim?
Oh snap! Then I'm gonna get my introduction to who. I know that they can be like, who is he talking to? Man,
This is what we do all day. I love it.
yo, I probably still gotta go Rakim.
Rakim?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, when I go back and I listen to Kane stuff, dope. But when I listen to Rakim, it's like a totally different experience, totally different just mindset you find yourself in from a lyrical perspective.
Okay.
And just like, because Kane can rap and use his wordplay very eloquently. But as you said earlier, Rakim was very cerebral with his and his delivery and his messaging is just like, let me go back. I gotta rewind. Let me listen to this whole song again, because what did he say?
And you know what was the beauty of I would say the real skill set of Rakim as well? He never used any invectives or profanity.
And you know why, right?
Never.
Because he was like, yo, I'm on my mom's and moms and pops hearing this thing.
Yeah.
And so
But it appealed to street dudes.
It did.
It appealed to those who did actually speak like that.
Yeah.
It still had an edge about it that made you still feel it was the imagery. The fat gold chains. He hung with the dope boys. He was one of the kids. He had that persona, that swagger. He had swagger before we was identifying it as swagger. Now that we think about it, he was swaggerlicious back then.
Facts.
And that's what to me Nas had. He has a swagger along with. Nas was the second coming of a Rakim to me. He was like, you could tell he was that pupil that now it's time for the game to go to that next phase. And when Nas dropped Illmatic, that's what it was.
I got it over there. I got the album sitting over there.
It was crazy.
Yeah,
Illmatic from beginning to end. I learned every song, every story. I could visually see it. I could see this little kid, him on One Love, talking to the shorty and dropping jewels in his jacket. I could see everything. When a person gives you that, you gotta just say, "Oh my God, they got it." You know what I'm saying? So, homie had it.
Yeah. See, I don't get that from hip hop today. I don't get that imagery, that same vibe, and that same feel today. The only artist that really does it, and y'all gonna hate me. I know, it's okay. You can hate me for saying what I'm about to say. It's all good. It's all good. But the only artist that really does that for me today is Jermaine Lamar Cole. That's the only artist that really takes me back to the same cerebralness, the same storytelling, the same imagery and visualness that Rakim had was Cole, because I found myself being very relatable to a lot of the stories that Cole, I was telling somebody, it was like he was raised by a single mom. I was raised by a single mom. And they were like, your mom's white? I was like, that's not the point. The point is that he had a single mom, had an estranged dad. It's kind of the same story. They moved around a lot. It's kind of the same thing, right?
And from that perspective, his life more like Drake.
It would be more like, yep.
Him and Drake have that similarity.
Very similarity. Like
single white mom.
Yeah.
Dad was,
Yep. Like he didn't really grow up in the well, maybe I didn't really grow up in the hood, but we had criminal activities around.
Yeah.
But which probably why I got all Cole albums up there right there. But anyway,
I was a late bloomer with him too. First album or two, my son was on him, but I was a late bloomer. I didn't really listen to him, but it took the Sinners album, Born Sinner. I think that
Born
was,
Sinner.
When I heard that, I was like, oh, I'm in now. I was like, oh, this dude is really spitting.
Yeah,
that's when I came in. With J. Cole, and from then I've been a fan. Like, yo, he's nice.
Yeah,
he's super nice.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, look, I know we were chopping it up. Those are the type of organic conversations I love. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Indie Unplugged. Today, my guest today is an artist who's proving that hip hop doesn't have to sacrifice substance to stay relevant. Originally from Miami, Florida, and now based here in Atlanta, Redd Fidel is an artist, songwriter, producer, actor, and a member of the Solarians. With more than a decade of experience in music, he's built a reputation as a lyrical craftsman who creates what he calls the adult contemporary hip-hop experience. Music designed for grown people who still love bars, which I do, storytelling, which I love, and meaningful content, which we definitely need. From opening for Head Crack to recently selling out his first concert, Redd Fidel has continued to build his career on authenticity rather than trends. At a time when much of the industry is chasing algorithm and viral moments, he's focused on creating high vibrational music, cultivating real fans, and staying true to his artistic vision. Please help me give a warm welcome to the Indie Unplugged to my man, Redd Fidel.
Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate that warm welcome.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Warm welcome. Sounds like someone did their due diligence.
Yeah, hey, we always do our due diligence here on the
Yes, sir.
on the Indie Unplugged, man. But man, so you had mentioned as we were talking earlier that you grew up in Miami, which is a city that's very unique to the hip hop culture, right? I mean, Miami, booty bass, right? I remember listening to that when I was growing up. DJ Magic Mike out of
I think he was out of Orlando.
I think it was out of Orlando.
Yeah.
But you know that culture of music. When you think about the Miami culture, what parts of your upbringing and the Miami music scene do you still hold true today in your own music?
I think it's the soul. To me, Miami has a different soul about it. And you mentioned the bass music. Bass music in itself, we like that. We like the heavy bass and the heavy bottom, even down to the dances. When you really look at it, Miami, to me, we call it like, I always looked at it as like a little Africa because of the amalgamation of so many cultural influences, because it's a port city, so many different people came there. So it was like it created its own spiritual vibe. But I say that to say this. The music, we like heavy bottom and even down to the dancing with the gyration and stuff like that. If you really look at it, let's look at it from an ancestral, historical place. It's more African related than anything else. How we move, how we carry on. It's very drum driven, which is African in itself. We carry a message through that, and our music is fast paced. And it was like it's one of those things like we always considered ourselves very Zulu in nature, as far as the mindset of, that. So I carry that soul, like even in my music. Like I always liked real hip hop in the sense of, I guess if you could label like how New York sound was at that time in the mid 80s and early 90s. And, so I like that, the jazz musicianship of hip hop, but I always need the essence of that bottom. I want that boom. I want that Zulu. I want something kicking up the dust in it at the same time. I just don't want a sample playing, but it's bland or it's tenuous. It has nothing underneath it that's carrying it, and that's where the Miami soul of it I carry with me. That's something that's just who I am. I gotta have some bottom. Yeah.
So talk a little bit about your upbringing when it comes to music. How did you first get started? What was your journey like? And when was the moment that you knew that this is what you wanted to do?
I really didn't know I wanted to do it, but I knew I was always musically inclined because I used to, when rap came out, and even before rap, my father, he used to have a lot of albums in the house back then when albums was just like, that was the thing. We had the 8 tracks, the albums. My pops used to come home every day after hard work and just play his albums. And, and I used to be very enthralled with the covers. The covers used to be mind-blowing. And we used to just look at the covers, me and my siblings.
Facts.
And they have all the information on the back. You read, and even those, they had the words on the back.
That's right.
So we would look at the words and stuff like that. But I always had a natural tendency of learning songs. My memory was good with songs. And the way I fell into actual rapping was, there was a guy in my neighborhood, he wanted to actually be a producer. I was into sports really heavy, and he used to always hit me like rapping. At that time, LL, I think, had just came out with Radio, and Run DMC was very popular. And I used to always just be rhyming these songs while working out, and we playing football outside. And I never forget, the guy came and was like, yo, I always hear, y'all doing music or rapping. You ever thought about going in the studio? And me and my friends was like, oh, no, we never thought about it. But he took us in the studio. We was little kids. He was much older. And nobody knew what the studio was. We was just in there, and they put a beat on. And I wrote, and I was the only one that could write to it. And I wrote to it. It was a bunch of us, but I wrote my verse, and I wrote 3 verses. So it ended up being me and my friend at the time. We ended up becoming a group. The other guys didn't really want to be involved, and we became a group. And that first song I wrote got me a record deal in Miami. That song right there ended up going to an independent label called Champion Records in Miami. They signed me and my friend. We was in high school, and my song used to play on the radio like every day in Miami, and that's what started it. So the first song I wrote got me a little independent deal, and I was bit by the bug. From there, I was like around 15, going on 16, and still heavy in the sports, but the music was just starting to like inundate me at the while. And after a while, and that's how I got into it, man. So it was very accidental, but I always liked the music, and I used to dance a lot too. So we had all the dancing
He
groups
was in
and
the
stuff
pop
like
locking.
that. Yeah. We
Like,
was into that heavy. Yes. So
spinning on the back.
all the aspects of hip hop.
Right.
A
Oh
lot
yeah,
of
yeah.
a lot of these,
People
nothing to the newer generation, but y'all don't understand like hip hop. There's pillars of hip hop. So I was part of the Zulu Nation.
Okay.
All that. We had a
Yeah,
chapter
yeah.
in Miami and stuff like that. So there's different things from the graffiti to the breakdancing to the b-boying to and the one thing they always leave out that's I think on purpose is one thing about hip hop. Hip hop brings you have one of the tenements and the pillars is knowledge of self, and people don't never actually talk about that aspect. That's where we was pushed to learn. Like you and I was aforementioning the artists like the Rakims and the Big Daddy Kanes. You already know Rakim was well read. You can't write them kind of lyrics if you haven't read.
You can't be illiterate.
You can't be illiterate. That was somebody who literally took time to feed his mind.
That's right.
And that's what made a great MC. And if you competitive in nature, your whole motivation was to know more than the next MC, so you can actually regurgitate some of that information into a rhyme. Whether you read, I knew cats. What we wrote, we walked around with just the thesauruses because we was learning words every day. We was reading the Bible, not the Bible, but the dictionary. I remember watching Malcolm X when Malcolm read the whole dictionary in jail. So we was on. Oh, I gotta read the dictionary.
Read the dictionary. Malcolm reading. I gotta read
the dictionary because we understood that words are truly what drive life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like that's what it was about, man. Words. I don't know if they do that now, but man, we got to the point we was learning words every day, and so it was just being that much more competitive and how you formulate your rhymes. So that's what got me into music. Not to go on to a tangent, but yeah, that got me into music, and I've been doing it ever since. And then started a family, did that, raised my children, and went on and here I am now. Now I'm ready to play. I'm ready to play.
Yeah,
I'm back in the sandbox.
Yeah. That's what's up. Yeah, that's so. So I thought I was gonna be a rapper, but I didn't.
I could see that because you're a historian.
I am.
Usually historians they done played with the microphone.
I did. I used to sing.
You did?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was in choir like from when I was a little youngin' all the way up. Me, and state choir and all that.
Dope.
But I thought I wanted to be a rapper because I used to see people walking around battle rapping in the hallways. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, they're like, yo, come with your raps prepared. Bet. I'm in there like, okay, all right, metaphysical. When I come through looking like I'm lyrical. And they be like, oh, we got Encyclopedia Brown showing up. That's what he's, y'all know, y'all heard my story. So they were like, yo, this is Encyclopedia Brown. But you're right. We were very well read. Reading thesauruses, dictionary, encyclopedias. We got to figure out what word rhymes with this very cleverly.
Very cleverly.
Right? And to deliver that message, one, we didn't want to sound like everybody else.
Because what was that? What crime was that called?
Oh, that's biting.
Biting?
You ain't doing that.
That crime was biting. That was the rule 101.
Rule 1. If you don't bite, no biting.
You better be original.
Yeah, they original.
For real.
So I had to Keith Murray all my stuff, bro. Like,
y'all mythological, it's chronicle, the astronomical. Come on, bro. You'll never hear that again.
Ever. We would never hear raps like that again. So now raps would be like, get in and bang me. I can't do it. Sorry, I can't do it. I'm looking for the Keith Murray. I'm looking for the Red Man. You know what I'm saying? Like I need Red Man.
Wow, I forgot it. Red Man was.
Yeah,
he's been nice for a long time.
I need his pen.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, so when it comes to those artists, I think because they had to, because of the competitiveness of the culture that they were in, I couldn't let you outshine me, so I had to lyrically. I got to bring the heat, and so I need to go into the studio and write things that's way better. Like I've heard stories. So Wu is one of my favorite groups.
Okay.
And so they have told stories that they'll be in there writing, and all of a sudden, Capadonna would get in there and be like, doing his thing. They'd be like, throwing their raps away because they got to go back and write. They were like, because he just brought it, this ain't gonna compete with that. So I got to go back and write it. I think we're missing that part of what's happening, right? So this great segue into this question. So you created the concept of adult contemporary hip hop experience, right? So one, I wrote, that's a bold statement in a culture that's very obsessed with youth. From an industry perspective, a label perspective, what gap did you see in hip hop that made you feel that this lane needed to exist? Because this is the thing we've literally been talking about a lot.
Yeah, it's been a very frequent conversation. I've talked to some other individuals who actually they label their music as such. They're in different states and stuff like that. We're starting to come together, and there's a few people actually calling the music adult rap or adult contemporary. But what made me actually get on board with it was around, like, I want to say it might have been like 2016, 2017. It really hit me hard because I was at Wolf Creek, right? This what really got me. I was at Wolf Creek, and I was already at a space and in a place with my own personal self and career as to if I want to continue to do this. Because in the realm and the world of hip hop, they would consider, us old in it.
Right.
It's one of the few, genres of music where it ages out. It ages you out, like sports. You get 3-4 years max before you blow your knee out. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
So it's like they, and I just felt it was unfair because I feel like I'm a better MC and a rapper, and my craft is and my sword is that much sharper now because I have life behind me. I have years of just constantly honing it. But what got me to really identify with adult contemporary hip hop, I was at like I mentioned, I was at Wolf Creek, and I seen Houdini, Big Daddy Kane, Chubb Rock, and I think it might have been MC Light as well, right? And your boy Kool Moe Dee. So this what took place.
No, it was. I was thinking, was it Kool Moe Dee? No, it was Kane. Kane and LL. I don't think it was Kool Moe Dee.
Kane was at this one too. So and it was Kane that really prompted this one. This was like around 2017, 18ish. It was up.
Yeah, it was probably like when we first moved here. But
it was up in that area. So we had Wolf Creek, and so it was packed. It was a nice crowd out there, right?
I'm sure.
So Kane got up there, and different parts in the show where they do the call and response, right? Kane said, "How many in the building? 18. Let's just say 18 to 25." You had a few people hollering. It's like, okay, we got some youngsters who can appreciate hip hop. He said, I'm in the building 25 to 35, make some noise. Okay, more people start hollering. He said 35 to 45, more people start hollering. Yo, Kane said 45 to 65, and damn near everybody in there was screaming. And right then I said, these people still love hip hop, but they want hip hop to speak to them from where they at now.
Where they at now? You got that right.
And that's when it hit me. And I said, but what it showed me too, I was like, the only time you get this age demographic of people to come out, they gotta listen to their old hip hop artists still sing the old songs. Why can't them same artists still be creating new music? And why are we still trying? Why not? And that's what I said. That's it right there. So, and this fills a void. And then also from a business perspective, from an industry perspective, this is the genre you want because they don't bootleg. They buy what they want.
That's right.
We got the money to buy what we want. This is a market of money, and this is a cash cow. Y'all ain't even
That's right. That's right.
I say adult contemporary hip. These people want to hear. They still love hip hop. They don't have to just come see that. They ain't got to still reminisce. We could be creating new music and keep it going. That's why even in my music, I don't, much as I love hip hop, and when you think of hip hop, you think of a certain sound. You might think of boom bap. You might think of certain things. I try to also show the growth in the music production and how the music is arranged, the musicality. I'm not trying to capture a 90s sound. I'm not trying to capture that. I adore that. That's what raised me, but I'm not that. I was 18 when I liked that. I was 17, 16. I'm at a whole nother place. So my music should be a reflection of where I'm at now. Not me trying to capture a sound, because if I got to capture the sound, meaning I got to go backwards and go back in time to get that. Right now, life is about moving forward, but I'm trying to bring you with me because all of those listeners have moved forward in their life as well. So how can I capture you now where you at? I mean, I'll talk about what? Do I need to talk about AARP for you? I need to talk about 501c3s or 401ks.
You
You
got
know,
it in the mail. You
you
open
know
it
what I'm
up,
saying?
and there's your card.
You know what I'm saying? It's like seriously, like,
Right.
but they still want to hear it because we were the original hip hoppers.
Yeah.
We were that. We was from that golden era.
I want to hear. I want to hear. So, who was it? Was it Andre 3000?
That says he doesn't
He doesn't.
have anything to really.
Yeah, he doesn't have anything to
that was
really
Andre.
say. And there was somebody else that came out and said,
Yeah.
"What do I want to hear old grown men rap about, like Social Security?" And
Yeah, I think somebody said that.
you know, Social Security, like,
Yeah.
and you know, wearing house slippers, like. But we got what. Even though we are a certain age, one doesn't mean we old. Two doesn't mean that life stops. We still have life experience that we can share through music.
Share it
Because
through
music is not all about booty shaking, hoes and cars and money and girls and sex and the bag and whatever the. I mean, there's more to life than just
Yeah.
those handful of things.
I agree, and it's interesting. This is the first time you made me realize, like the Andre statement. I understand where he's coming from, but I will say this to anyone who may feel like that because I've been there. I've been doing this so long. You go through, some people say a writer's block. You go through a period where you really, your voice, you don't have nothing to say, and you might even be questioning your own self and doubting yourself. But I find that the real block comes when you're trying to write, sometimes to have your music relevant instead of writing organically and just making music. That's when you get caught in the trap of it all. If I'm writing just to make it sound relevant, now I've already put a box around myself. But if I'm continuously creating because I'm just creating, that's when you actually being obedient to the gift.
Yeah.
And for Andre, he has such a expansive gift. I just feel like anything he does, if he just let it be free, people are gonna be, but maybe he feel like he's not relevant because he might not be able to write what he deems as relevant music.
Right.
And he don't even understand that just his gift is always it never dies because it's energy. And
Never.
People just want to hear him, they want to hear what he's doing, what he does. And they showed you that when he was playing that flute. Everybody came out.
I mean, it was tweeting all around the globe.
Yeah, all around the globe.
And people still wanted to hear it.
They wanted to hear it.
But they really wanted to hear them bars, though.
They wanted to hear the bars.
They do. They wanted to hear them bars from Andre. They like,
that was anticipated. The anticipation made that even more.
Even more.
The anticipation.
It was like, where's Waldo?
Right.
He's fluting around. And it's like, but we wanted to hear it. And I think that's where people were disappointed, is in the fact. And I think people love the album, but I think people were disappointed because they really wanted to hear Andre 3000
really
come lyrically like he is. I mean, you're part of one of the greatest hip hop groups,
if not the greatest,
to ever
duo.
exist.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Me and people have conversations about who is the greatest hip hop group. I say it's Wu-Tang, but a lot of people say it's Outkast. I'm okay with that. Okay.
That's two different kind of groups. Wu-Tang is a super group.
They are a super
It's
group.
a super group. You tell me, and when you say group, I would say Outkast. When it's just two people, you're gonna have to say duo. Who's the greatest duo? Because now you're talking about them, EPMD. You talking about, but I really feel like they're the greatest duo.
Yeah, I would say that absolutely.
From music to rhyming, and then from sales and success.
Yeah.
Who's gonna top that?
Because Wu is a super group. Because I mean, I would like compare Wu against like NWA.
Yeah. Wu, exactly.
Right, because
they was way larger than that too. I'm trying to think of who might have been. I don't know no other group that was keeping stand. They was an anomaly.
Yeah. It's like New Edition is a super group.
Right.
Right. I mean, you can't put them in categories the same as, a lot of other groups. But no, I feel you on that. I feel you on the fact that, we can't, and that's the thing. I heard a conversation with Tricky Stewart was on somebody else's podcast, which Tricky need to get on this podcast, but he was on somebody else's podcast, and he was talking about, somebody was talking about, everybody want the 90s R&B to come back. Now 90s R&B ain't coming back. Why they keep saying 90s R&B? And Tricky was like, well, it's not so much about it coming back. It's what it meant and what it felt like. Right. And I think that's what people miss.
And I get that.
What it felt like.
I totally agree. And I'm glad you said that. So the real magic is being able to capture the soul and essence of that and put that take that and take the consciousness of that and put it in a new body. And people, that's what they're missing. You're giving us soulless bodies of music. There's nothing inside of it. It's just a shell of whatever. And that's the key. Capturing the soul and essence of that 90s feel. But we were talking about the times. We was talking about the things happening. It wasn't caged by corporations at that time.
Nobody was chasing.
It was about really what we felt. We was really talking freedom music, and it was an expression of all our protest. It was protest music in itself. Even if we was dancing, the dancing was a form of protesting. Like we were going against the grain. It was that against everything. You know what I'm saying? And it just changed. You know, when PE came and Flav had the big clock, he was the jester, but at the same time, he had the greatest message because his clock kept asking you, what time is it? What time is it?
What time is it?
And you wouldn't have heard Chuck if it wasn't for Flav, because just hearing a Chuck D it wasn't gonna be palatable. Flavor made it palatable because he made you laugh. He made you, and the best way to give information is through inspiration.
Yeah.
Make them laugh at the same time, and they actually being fed all the time. You can't just be serious with them.
Yeah, because humor was a great way to balance.
It was a great way to do it.
It was a great way to balance the seriousness of Chuck D.
Yeah, the seriousness of Chuck D.
With the comicalness of Flavor Flav. But Flavor Flav still would deliver a message.
He still would drop something. 911's.
I was about to say 911's a joke.
I actually had his own solo album. His solo album was decent. Like Flav was that guy. He was really dope. And I was like, the masterfulness of them to do it like that and see that, to mix humor with that. Your greatest comedians do that well. They know how to mix humor with their seriousness. You know, it's like, wow.
You know, and this, it just came to me. You know, it's not even anything on these questions I got because, you know, just organic stuff. I was watching a clip of Eddie Murphy, Delirious, on Instagram or Facebook. It was something. And as I was watching this clip, I was like, now I'm going to say it, and people are going to be like, man, you tripping, bruh. It just dawned on me at that moment. I was like, I wonder if people consider Eddie Murphy the Michael Jackson of comedy. Like, Eddie was 22 years old when he made Delirious. Delirious was a masterpiece in comedy.
It really was.
Raw was amazing.
But Delirious was the masterpiece.
Delirious was so... Because Raw came after, if I'm understanding, Raw came after Delirious. Raw was so masterfully delivered. Like
you mean Delirious?
Yeah, Delirious.
Oh, but you're saying Raw was masterfully
delivered? No, Delirious was.
Okay.
Raw was too. Raw was hilarious.
Right.
But Delirious was masterfully delivered.
From joke to joke.
From joke to joke. Eddie didn't drop a single ball with none of those jokes. He had you laughing from the time he picked up that mic until the time that dude said, we out of here.
He took you into that orbit with him. From the time he came out, even down to how he was dressed. Everything seemed like it was, the stars were aligned. We saw a star right then. And I didn't realize he was 22.
22 years old.
Wow.
So when I sit back and think about Michael Jackson, and when Michael Jackson made... No, he was 20-something when he made Off the Wall. He was 22. I think he was 22 when he made... You know, I'm always looking stuff up, bro.
You know, he had like 5 albums before Off the Wall, solo albums.
I did not.
he had one before the Off the Wall when he was a little older. Then he had, I want to say 4 more. I forgot the name.
Well, I probably do.
Off the Wall is the one that finally, once he got Quincy involved.
Yeah. He was 20 when he made Off the Wall.
He was 20 when he made Off the Wall?
Yep. It was his 5th solo. Yes, I mean, yeah. But it was his 5th solo album. But Off the Wall is really what catapulted Michael into superstardom. I would say, well, especially...
No, would you say Off the Wall or would you say Thriller? Thriller.
Well, I would say Thriller. I would say Off the Wall.
Opened that door.
Opened the door.
It started the launching.
But when he made Thriller, that put him in a completely different stratosphere as an artist. But okay, so here's the thing: what makes an artist? So one of the questions that I have for you, because I think that leads into this. Um, what do you think makes someone like a Michael Jackson at such a young age so creative, so outspoken in his music, so free in his music to create an off the wall or even a thriller that allowed him to just create that type of music that resonated with so many people globally. What was it about? Was it his freedom? Was it just I don't care what I'm not in a box. I can do whatever I want to do. I left the Jackson 5 and I'm doing my own thing. Like, what would you attribute that eclecticness that he had to?
I think, and I probably gained this answer or this thought from watching Michael.
Great movie,
And
by
I
the
know
way.
sometimes, movies create their own story.
Right.
But I would say this. Mike had been in the game so long. I think it was like 6'5", one of the ages. At that time when he made that, Mike already understood his assignment with music.
Mm-hmm.
Because he showed you that when he would wake up and tell his engineers, let's get up, and they'd be like, Mike, he would like, I need to get this down before
Mm-hmm.
Prince gets it.
That was a funny scene. He was in the
You see what I'm
pool.
saying?
They were like, "What you doing?" He was like, "I'm basking." He was like, "They're like, why?" He was like, "I'm waiting for God to give me the ideas." Like, why? Because if I don't, he gonna give it to Prince.
Right.
I was like, "Yo,
As weird as that sounds, he understood it. And
that's
those
right."
adepts like us who really in it, we understand that it's a collective consciousness we exist in. That's why sometimes you might have had a good idea, but you didn't act upon it, and then somebody else created it. Man, I
Facts.
had
You
that
be like,
same idea.
"Dang."
It's just that idea was just we all a collective consciousness. They
Mhm.
just took it, they received it, and said, "Oh, they did something with it. You had that same opportunity to do something with it." So Mike understood the assignment, he understood the process. So all he would do was capitalize on the downloads. And I think the more you actually take advantage of the downloads and you actually be obedient to them, the more you create greatness. You know what I'm saying? And then the source that's sending those downloads understands that, okay, this conduit being a person, being a vessel, they actually utilize what I'm sending down.
Mhm.
So he was just getting sent downloads and was just using them. So I believe that Mike understood the assignment. He knew why he was here, and them belt to asses Joe was putting on him paid off.
Paid off, boy. He was
That's gonna get me in trouble right there.
boy, paid off. What was he said? "Get me in trouble." Hey, they can be like, he domestic violence.
No, but
But no, hey, no,
that's
like,
the humor I
yo,
like to throw in my information.
man, we grew up in an environment that's where it was. Yeah, no, I'm glad my mom did what she did. I may not have liked it,
Yeah,
but I'm glad that it did because it kept my tail on a path that I would have been somewhere else.
yeah.
That if that level of discipline didn't take place.
Yeah, there's corporal punishment, there's correction. And
Yeah,
you got some people, they might have taken it too far. And I don't
yeah.
know his story. I don't get into that. People always assume. All I can
Mhm.
say is that, because we was just talking about this 2 days ago, me and some comrades, I think that Mike was just so young that the overboard aspect of it was he didn't allow the young man to actually be a child.
Yeah, and
It's too much. His mind wasn't developed. He was too young. His
yeah,
prefrontal lobe was
yeah.
undeveloped. He didn't know nothing. I mean, the bigger boys, they could do this. That's why they had a little bit of normality to them.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But Mike was a baby. He was too
He
small.
was
That
man.
kind of strictness was just like,
Yeah.
come on, man. You can't. I raise dogs, so I know sometimes I have to let my puppies be puppies, and when they get around a year or let's say 16 to 18 months is when I start now training them to do the things that I need them to do as adult dogs. But in the meantime, interim, I let them be puppies. He was a puppy. You
He
gotta
was a
let him be a
puppy.
puppy. You gotta let him just live in his imagination. But he was just too strict on him, and I think
Mm.
that stymied his mental
Yeah.
the growth process to
Yeah.
some degree. You know what I'm
Yeah. I
saying?
mean, because you're taking a child
Yeah,
at such a young age and
for
putting him
sure.
in that type of really rugged, structured
Yeah, that's
environment,
a lot.
fast paced
It's a
moving
lot.
on the road.
Yeah,
That's a lot for a child who's 5, 6,
yeah,
7,
it's
8
a
to be
lot.
able to really grasp and how to operate in that
Yeah.
type of environment, and recording
Yeah.
at night, late at night, get in
Yeah.
bed, wake up, practice 5 a.m., get up again, hit the road. Man, the saddest scene, of course, and I think everybody says it's one of the saddest scenes in the entire movie, is when he wanted to play Twister, and the brothers were like, "Yo, we playing. I'm about to go to the wife. We playing basketball. You want to play Twister?"
Yeah.
And he was just like,
So
"Yeah,
him and Bubbles played.
So him and Bubbles played, and it was like, man, at that moment, it was like Mike really was a child.
He really was.
He really was that
really was.
never had the ability to be a child. Peter
He
Pan.
was Peter Pan.
Peter Pan.
Peter Pan.
Yeah, Peter Pan.
Yeah. He was a Neverland.
Yeah,
Real
yeah,
Neverland.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. I mean, so speaking of something like that in that capacity, you talked about trauma in the past, hardship, and even near death experiences, and how that influences your writing. How do you balance being transparent enough to help people without feeling that you're giving away pieces of yourself?
I found that you have to give a piece.
Mm.
You have to give a little bit, enough to where you still have pieces of you that are healthy to keep, but just enough to give for a person to actually resonate and relate to. So they don't feel like you just telling them, they actually could see that you actually might have experienced that. So you telling them that, it holds more weight, as far as them,
Mhm.
listening. Okay, he's been through this. It's relevant. It's germane to whatever they may be going through. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have a problem with that. I used to, but I kind of masterfully know how to tell without actually or I might speak it in third person. I might create it and really give it all in third person. It might not even pertain to me, but I'm going to pour the experience so real into it that it might not have been my story, but like you mentioned earlier, we grew up in an environment where I might not have been the one to touch some of the stuff, but I seen it and I got the ability to narrate it. So I'm narrating a story that I might have seen, and it's so real because it's so vivid in my memory that story relates to you. I might not have been the one, but I know that story well, that might have been a friend, a family member, somebody close, and I know how to take that story and relate it to you and make it, So that's another thing. I can narrate a story well. Like I used
Yeah.
to write for people a lot too, and they tell me the story. Like, okay, what's your story? Tell me, and I'm taking my notes such and such. And when I write it back to them or read the rhyme back to them or do the song, they're like, wow, you got all that from there. I said, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what you was telling me, and
Mm.
I saw the picture, so I just put color on it. I put trees in the background. I created a landscape for what you were saying. It just was bland, but I took it and I threw some paint on it. So so that's what it is.
Yeah, and I think that's what's missing from today's music is the art of storytelling.
The art of storytelling.
Yeah, and I don't think people really understand how to paint a picture in that capacity, because when we read a book, the author has the ability to draw you in. At least a good book has the ability to draw you in so that you can feel like you're part of the story, or at least you can visualize
Yeah,
what's taking
yeah,
place. A lot of music, and this is my opinion, a lot of music today doesn't do that. It's a vibe. It puts me in the mood, and or I may be doing a little something that puts me in a different
yeah,
headspace. But it doesn't give me the ability to visualize what's actually going on, and that's what I loved about I guess we would say mature hip hop back in the day, or hip hop back in the day, was that they had the ability to really do that, to paint the picture. You can see yourself standing, on the street corner with you know, the guy as he's telling the story about the girl, and or the, I mean, they were just very vivid in
yeah,
their storytelling. Um, and I think that. I think people aren't today aren't vulnerable in a way that allow them to share their story through music. One of the albums that probably is one of the best albums to me, at least I would say Mary J. Blige, My Life album,
okay,
because she took all of her experiences and poured it into that album.
gotcha.
She was very vulnerable in that
One of
album.
my favorites too.
That's why people today still say, yeah, What's the 411 was great.
Yeah.
But My Life
But My Life was the one.
was the one.
You felt it. You felt it.
That
You
was
felt
her.
that album.
That was her
That was
Magnus.
my favorite album.
That's my
by Mary. Yeah,
favorite album by Mary, hands down. I could listen to that song from top to bottom.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't want to listen to it. I'm going down, but
Yeah.
some days I'm like, all right, cool. But some days I don't. But top to bottom,
You know who else album I felt like that? And he made a lot of great music. He's still on people's on the lips of people's mouth today. I felt that way about Tupac's Me Against the World.
yes,
Me Against the World was
man.
That album was so transparent, vulnerable, but it was so real. You play it and it's like, oh my God.
Yes, that's the double one.
No, that's All Eyes on Me.
Oh, that is All Eyes on Me. That's right.
Me Against the World is the one with it's just Me Against the World, and that's the one that had had Temptation. He had just got locked up. He had
yes.
You know what? Speaking of which,
yes,
we was in the studio talking about this, and I'm gonna share with this because you're a hip hop historian. He was the only rapper that I think about, or that I know to this day. And you could correct me if you know. You remember he was locked up, and they shot his album was actually climbing the charts while he was locked up. Me Against the World, and they shot a video to that song Temptations. Do you remember the video when it had every big name rapper in there? The last time you were able to actually congregate that many rappers in a video was Self-Destruction or Same Gang.
Well,
I ain't never seen another song where a rapper. Have you seen it before?
I went not from a rapper perspective. I think a song that did bring people together was when Aaliyah died,
yeah,
but it didn't have like
it was different.
It was different.
It was a little bit more morbid.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, because you had DMX starting it off, and
because she died.
We miss your baby girl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It was that kind of
that was different.
That constitutes people coming together.
Yeah.
But Tupac Temptations, like, and it was like, hey, it's like they still were having fun. It was like everybody was like they knew we rallying behind Pac on this one. He'll be home soon. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if I can.
I don't know a video that ever was shot like that, where everybody seemed like was in that video. And he wasn't nowhere in his own video because he couldn't be.
Because he couldn't be in the video.
That was like crazy.
Yeah, because he was in jail. They were like, we still need to make a video of this though. So
and to go back on what we said earlier, he was around about 22 then.
He was.
Look how young these people were, bro.
Look
at your average 22-year-old now. Look at your average 20. He died at 25. Look at your average 25 now.
I don't know if they really know what Tupac was able to do in his short years, bro. Short years.
It was such a small window.
Very small window. The amount of music he put out. Like, I mean, I literally first heard of Tupac with Digital. I mean, of course, we heard him when he was with Digital Underground. Right. And then when it kind of flipped. It was Digital Underground and Tupac. But when he made
Brenda's Got a Baby?
No.
Which one?
When he made
the one with
Fingertips on the Hip, can't
I Get Around.
Yeah, I Get Thank You. Yes. It flipped. It became Tupac and then Digital Underground. Right? So when he made I Get Around, I even heard a story where he talked about, he said that's what kind of rejuvenated Digital Underground again.
It did.
Because they had just been dropped.
It did.
And, when Tupac made that, because he's on the rise to be, but I mean, of course, I heard him with Digital Underground. Brenda's Got a Baby. I got Tupacalypse Now sitting over there at the album.
That's actually, if you listen to that, that's masterfully done. That was a good album.
That was a great album.
That was a really great album.
Great album.
That was one of my favorites. Me Against the World is my favorite. Then I would say probably I like the All Eyes on Me.
I do like All Eyes on Me.
All Eyes on Me was good.
I like Machiavelli though.
Machiavelli was good. I just don't like how it sounds sonically and phonically because you could tell they mixed it, and it just was the vocals everywhere. Because I'm a stickler about how it needs to sound.
Okay,
but I do like that post humorous album, the Are You Still Down? That double CD Are You Still Down? There was some good songs on that. But no matter what, man, Pac did. But even his acting work. The acting was like, yo, homie really was good in these.
Yeah, you got the juice now.
But that's what to me really catapulted him because he had just dropped Tupacalypse. He hadn't even did Strictly for My Niggas yet. and then he dropped
Man,
Juice.
strictly for my niggas, man.
Strictly for my nigga. Come on, bro.
Yo, bro, that album was
Crazy, yeah.
man, that album was dope, bro.
Strictly
Like,
for my niggas.
bro,
You know what
in
I'm
the
saying?
span, I'm telling y'all don't understand, right? Like I'm pulling down my because I got every Tupac album on here, bro. Like,
okay. Yes, sir.
because y'all don't understand that this dude had how many albums on here? 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. I got 22 on here, bro. Like, and some of these are
Like
doubles. Some of them are mixtapes, right? Some of them are compilation albums where they. But when you think about his Tupacalypse Now, Strictly for My Niggas, Machiavelli, Are You Still Down, Me Against the World,
Better Days, things
All Eyes on Me, Better Days. Was a got a 2 disc. I got his greatest hits on here. Loyal to the Game.
Then his group Thug Life.
The Passion of Tupac, Pac's Life, The Rose That Grew from
Concrete. Come on, bro.
Bro.
Dude was serious, man.
He was
He was one of the ones.
This man has made more albums, more quality albums than most people their entire rap career in a very short amount of time. So that's right. So that's the thing. What was it about artists back then that made that they were at a young age this high level of creativity, this high level of freedom that they had in their music that we really don't get in music today? Like, that's the thing that I'm trying to understand. We got people chasing virality, and we got people chasing algorithms and trying to be the hottest new thing, and look at my numbers, and music sounding like trash. Like, so one of the things I heard you describe yourself was like a new veteran, right?
Glad you caught that.
You know what I'm saying? Like a new veteran. Like I'm a veteran.
But I'm
gonna have you explain that. Like, what?
No. What do you when you heard that? What did you take from it?
I took from it that it is a individual that's been in the game for a certain amount of time, a duration, but it's adaptable and it's flexible and can maneuver with the times and can take something that. I had a friend that says we were talking about marketing one day in his interview, and he was like, old school rules with new school tools. Right. Go. So being able to combine those two,
right.
That's what I think about when I hear
new veteran.
New veteran.
That's it. That's you hit it on the nail. That's where it's at. I've always been here, but I'm able to acclimate and adapt to the sun. It's like when Bruce Lee say, "Take the shape, water, be water,
like water,
be water, take the
like
shape."
Water.
Yeah, be water, my friend. Mm-hmm. And you have to be water, and that's just what it was. And I was like, new veteran. When it hit me, I was like, that's it right there. I like that. I like how that sounds because I am new to a lot of people, but I'm a veteran at this. I'm a veteran, so I got to let my older heads know, like, I'm y'all.
Yeah.
But it's time for us to, let them know that we still do this for real.
Yeah.
It's funny because I speak kind of low, but I rhyme loud. You gotta rhyme.
I wanted to come to the concert the other day. Carisha
really?
was like, "Yo, you gotta come." It was Sunday. She was like, "Yo, what you doing?" I was like, "Yo, I ain't really doing nothing right now." She was like, "Yo, Redd Fidel's having a concert tonight. You need to come through." I was like, "Yo, send me the."
You missed the treat. It was really good. It was really good.
I'm sure
it was really good, and just having that whole live band experience was good too. And that adds to the whole adult contemporary hip hop experience too. Having a live band too.
Sold out.
Yeah.
Sold out show.
Second one.
Yeah,
second one. So we planning something big in August, and we about to have a crazy single we rolling out.
Okay.
Surprise, but I got a nice feature from another new veteran, ATL veteran that people really like, had a few hits out back in the day, and he's about to come back, and we came together, and first studio session that we had, we laid down something, and it's sweet, and
it was magical, right?
And we about to drop something.
Yeah,
we just did the artwork today. We playing around with that. I got my video people on deck, and we're gonna be strategically putting this out, and I'm sure people like us gonna really like it, and hopefully the newer generation feel it as
Yeah.
well. So
Yeah.
it's definitely dope. I'm liking it. I'm
Yeah.
liking it a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah.
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 So yeah, I definitely. She sent me the details, and I was like, man, if I can make it, I will. Like I'm the type of person because I'm older. You know what I'm saying. You gotta let me know, like,
Especially on the Sunday.
especially on a Sunday.
Especially on the Sunday. That's why I made it earlier too. I made it early. Like it was from 6:30 to 9:30.
Well,
And I
I'm
was like,
cool if it's on a Sunday. You gotta let me know, like,
ahead of time. At
ahead
least
of
2 weeks.
time. Just like give me like a week, at
Yeah.
least a week.
Yeah.
But like, what you doing tonight? Like, I don't even know yet. But I ended up staying here, chilling for a little bit,
Right.
watching TV. You know, hanging with the wife a little bit. And it's like, yeah, I ain't gonna be. You know what I'm saying? You know, once you get to hanging with the wife and doing other stuff, and
I know.
hey, you know, watching, you eating dinner, yeah, you be like,
I already know. And you say eating dinner, once that food get in you, boy,
you be
that food go to talking to
you
you.
got the itis. You're like, man, I can't go nowhere
I can't
right
do that. I
now.
don't even want to. I'm talking myself out of it.
Man,
I'm
I
talking
can't.
myself out of it.
Right. So I'm sure that's gonna be. So of course, you know, we ain't gonna ask them who the person is. I want them to, when it drops, we're gonna find out exactly what
Yeah.
what the surprise
Yeah, it's
is
gonna be nice.
from the new veterans. But in that question about being a new veteran, what do you think younger artists misunderstand about longevity, and what do older artists sometimes misunderstand about today's music landscape?
Mm. Younger artists to me seem to misunderstand that they're gonna get older. They make music thinking that's it. Or like they're gonna keep doing that. No, you're gonna get older if you keep
Mhm.
doing it. And as you get older, it's going to change on you. And then you're gonna see, oh wow, what was hot before isn't hot again. So if you're gonna survive, you gotta make yourself adaptable and you got to learn how to actually change with it. And I think when you're young, you're not looking at it from that perspective because you're looking at just what's hot now. But as you grow, you change, you mature. Hopefully, you mature. You mature. You
That's the
might not
goal.
like the same thing you liked 3, 4 years ago. And we see people do that. You see a lot of younger artists, they started off as young such and such, and they reached a certain level where they dropped the young and they just Jeezy,
Mhm.
or they just Wayne. They ain't Lil Wayne no
Lil
more.
Wayne,
They ain't Young Jeezy no more. They
right?
ain't such and such no
Lil
more.
Boosie.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
it's just
right.
certain things that you run with. And as far as older artists, sometimes have to get out their head that the past was better.
Mhm.
The past was what it was. You gotta adapt and acclimate to what's happening now. And I think sometimes older artists, they stuck on the old campaign. Now that's a whole different campaign.
Mhm.
And now, but like you said, we could bridge those gaps. We could bring old views to new tools. Then we can make it happen. We
Yeah.
could bridge it. So sometimes you got to link up with those younger minds, those young brilliant minds who can help take your viewpoints and your wisdom with their knowledge and understanding. Because sometimes you got to bring your wisdom to knowledge and understanding to create that 360 cipher to really make it work. Hence
Mm.
why I even roll with um Ree. You know what I'm saying? Ree
Mhm.
Carisha. You know what I'm saying? Because she brought a fresh understanding to me. She brings freshness to it. She understands the algorithm. She understands what's happening on the level of social media platforms. Whereas I
Mhm.
don't really I have a life outside of that. That's
Right.
not really, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't have time to be
I
doing all
need
that, you know what
I need
I'm
a social media person because boy, I still got a life that I can't.
saying? Yeah, you know?
Right. I still got a job.
Yeah,
You know what
you
I'm
know what I'm
saying?
saying?
Like,
We got other stuff. We got other worlds we created
yeah,
in this time span in which we've been living.
yeah.
You know
So
what I'm saying?
so how do you juggle that, right? How do you juggle being, having all those responsibilities, of family and bills and a career and you know, and still wanting to be an artist and creative and how do you juggle and balance all of that when you got so many other things in your life going on?
It's hard. I'm not even gonna front. It's hard. But that's where you have to be spiritually grounded. I take time for myself. I take time to just don't do nothing. Sometimes you have to don't do nothing. You have to just sit still and exhale, enjoy, and understand that everything has its place. I don't let anything get too overwhelming. I don't give anything too much attention
Mm,
because that creates an imbalance. You have to actually, only thing gets the most of my attention, of course, is family. But if I'm trying to do other things, my family is on board with what I'm doing to the point where they allow me to actually have that balance where I could give different things the amount of energy it needs for those things to actually flourish
mhm.
and do what they need to do. So my family is very, very understanding of what it is I'm doing. So that's the biggest thing.
You
Yeah,
know that.
without a doubt.
You know that's the thing. I mean, I think for anybody that's in this industry and you have a family, in order to really thrive, you gotta have the support of your family.
Oh man, it's nothing like it.
Man, can you imagine? I'm telling my wife, yeah, I'm gonna take this room, I'm gonna paint it and put stuff on the wall and turn it into a podcast space and put lights up on the ceiling. And she'd be like, what? You about to do what? Yo, I'm about to build a whole nother set because I got like another setup upstairs in another room
Right.
that I do videos for another brand that I got. And it's like, that's why I do all that. And she's like, wait, you gonna take the other room too? Do what you gotta do. I support you in your endeavors.
It's a beautiful, beautiful feeling.
A lot of people don't got that.
A lot of people don't got it.
They got people, why you always in the studio? Why you always over? And it's like,
that stifles your growth.
mm,
And that does nothing but create contention. Because I've been there too. You know, you might have had them girlfriends in the past who didn't understand it. And honestly, I was always accused of music being my first love. Like I was back when I was younger. Most of my
Right,
girlfriends
right.
used to be like, "You love your music more than you love me." Well, you know, I do because it don't talk back to me all the time. Well, because it's not asking me
I jump
foolishness.
off.
Yeah, it's not asking me foolishness every little bit.
Right.
You know, it's like, okay, all right, whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just
Music was a jump off. Like,
it's good to me. You know what I'm saying?
it's good to me.
It's
Music
good to me.
is appealing. It appeases me. It gives me
Yeah.
peace. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
for sure. You know,
it don't.
so
It ain't trying to give me a headache. Like I'm good when it comes to music. Music for me was like an escape. I found myself wearing headphones a lot when I was growing up.
mm.
I mean, because there's a lot of
You had Walkmans, you mean?
yeah, I did. I had Walkmans. I did. Y'all don't know about the Walkman joints, but I did. And you know, with the tapes in it, and you got
the tapes, yeah.
yeah. You
And then
got
when they got remember they got the CD Walkmans. I ain't like the CDs.
I had them too.
I had I love the tapes.
I love the tapes.
I didn't
though.
want to go to the CDs. I was fighting it.
Yeah,
It wasn't nothing like a
But-
tape Walkman.
nothing like a tape Walkman, boy. With it,
Yep.
like nothing. Oh my
With
gosh,
a backpack full of batteries, making show, boy.
it was the best. You know, and so that was my escape. I always found myself walking around with a Walkman, right?
Yeah.
Or you know the CD joint that we had back in the day, because of the environment I was growing up in,
sure.
and trying to escape from that.
Mm.
I found myself drowning in music, and I mean, I would spend hours in because I used to dance too back in the day,
Interesting.
and I would spend hours in my room listening to Night Train
Mm.
by Public Enemy.
Public Enemy.
Yeah.
Night Train.
Creating dances
Yeah.
because I didn't want to deal with what was happening.
Mm.
And so I was in there for hours listening to Babyface, right? Or just music because I didn't want to deal with my mom. You know, I didn't want to hear everybody know. I mean, it's not a secret. My other family, why you always talking about your mom being on drugs and shit? Because that was my life, you know, as I was growing up.
All right.
I hated hearing the lighter flicker. You know what I'm saying? We know what that is. The people, I hated hearing that. I would always go on my headphones. I'm leaving. Go always, walking. You know, and it was really traumatic. I know this ain't my interview. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No, but
it was really traumatic for me because we're similar in age. We kind of seen the similar
I
things.
know exactly what you're talking about.
You know what I'm saying? So we find ourselves finding how we can escape.
Right.
And when life hits you for so many directions, you just like, how do I deal with it? So yeah, I agree. Music, when I was growing up, music was my first love.
Yeah. It became that for me too,
Yeah.
man. You know, I mean, like, man, music helped me out a lot because most of the dudes, you know, most of my comrades I came up with who wasn't in music, you know, life dealt them a different journey.
Different journey.
And they ain't make it. Some of them, and then there's one or two who might have squeezed through. You know, they doing okay.
Yeah.
You know, I
Yeah.
love them. They doing okay, but the ones I really ran with, we had street dreams, and music saved me.
Mm-hmm.
I always pay homage to hip hop. Hip hop saved me. Hip hop kept me out of a lot of situations that honestly, I know this story is like so overstated and oversaid by so many people who want to be or pretend to be, but I'm real when I say I wouldn't be here right now, bro, if it wasn't for that music, especially in the climate we grew up in. Because it was either that or I'm going to put a pack in my hand. I'm going to put a pack in my hand. I'm going to get to it. There wasn't no scholarships waiting. There wasn't none of that.
No scholarships.
None of that other
It was
stuff.
either military
and I wasn't doing it, and I wasn't doing a military.
Right, I did. I
know?
went. I went. I went.
Yeah,
Senior high school.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I had the mindset we was too against that, and I wasn't doing that. So I know I got this, or I got this mic, and I took the mic road, and it saved me. Being in them studios,
Yeah.
traveling, and
Yeah.
doing different stuff, and I'm hearing back home, hey man, such and such got jammed, or oh boy
Yeah.
got boom boom. I'm like, dang, I would have been. We were just talking about that, or
Yeah.
just different stories. Or so music saved me, man. I'm always paying homage to hip hop.
Mhm.
And it saved a lot of our youth even today. Music saving a lot of these youth, but the only thing about it is that our music has become corrosive and very caustic to where what it's talking about or what it entails sometimes leads good innocent souls into a bad situation. Like, dang, I'd rather you not be in the music.
Right.
You
Don't
was
be in the
good.
music.
Music is poisoning. It's tainting you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You were good
You were
growing up,
good.
and
Now
then you
you-
was wholesome, and then you had a good head on your shoulder. You was in school
Yeah.
getting good grades, and,
Yeah, what's going on?
and now you
man?
got into music. Somebody
Man,
was like, "Hey, you'll make a great singer." They
oh my
sexualized you
God,
up.
My God, it's like what's happening to
Or-
you,
or-
homie?
Matter of fact, Boss.
The
Remember
female?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know that was her story. That's kind of like her. The persona we saw as Boss was not really.
Yeah, because she was a Catholic school girl.
Yeah.
That's what messed her career. They found out the truth on her.
Yes, because that really
Yeah.
wasn't that.
That wasn't
They
her.
created that
They
persona,
created a persona
right? And they made her sound
that like she was really
like she was
authentic,
really like
the street and
yes.
rough, and she wasn't.
She was not.
She was not that. And
She was a wholesome Catholic school girl,
yeah.
private school.
Yeah, when they found
Right.
out, it was like, nah.
That was it.
Nah, she was one of the first fabrications. It was like, oh, let's capitalize on gangsterism. We need a gangster female, and they got boss. She had a okay look. She was such and such, but nah. And then so that's when Light came out. Got a rough neck, gotta have a rough neck, got a rough like rock. Like, come on, Light, that ain't you. You light as a rock.
I knew that wasn't her. She was cha 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 on
You
this
was
Monty
cha-cha-cha,
Gras. She the
like-
dopest female
Yeah, I
that you
was
heard
like,
thus
what's
far.
going on? I was
I was like, that's not you.
they was really pushing the rough
They
neck.
were pushing
was
that
pushing
rough
it
neck.
hard.
Yeah.
All the females in that video would have had Timberlands on.
The Timberlands
They was
on,
all
looking
hoodied
rough,
up, like,
hoodied up, like,
where this come
that ain't
from?
you. MC like, you know that ain't you. This is dope song still.
Yeah,
But that athlete, that
yeah.
so they figured in a world, they was like, we can fabricate an artist. We can take someone and make them into something and project and make people believe that that's this type of artist. Boss was
exactly
not that type of artist at all.
Not at all.
And they felt like, who's Boss? We never heard of Boss. Y'all go listen to find out who
she
Boss
wasn't.
is.
She wasn't. That wasn't her.
Was not her.
That wasn't her. I'm trying to think what female probably was more authentic back then. Like I like the Yo-Yo.
Yo-Yo,
Yo-Yo
was like
was
Yo-Yo.
dope, but I don't know if she was really authentic like that. She just ran with a very solid crew.
Yeah.
Being Cuban.
Cube and them.
And
yeah.
she had a
Cube
look.
and them.
She had a cute because he wasn't that too either. You know
None of them were
he-
like
he-
that.
he
That
wasn't. Dre
Eazy-E was.
Eazy-E was.
But Dre really
Dre
wasn't.
I don't know Ren's story,
Re-
but
Yellow
Eazy-
really wasn't.
he wasn't. So
Not
nah,
like that.
I'm not
I
feeling.
mean, they was with Lorenzo
right.
rolling in the bit.
And then if you really know rap, I remember when I was breaking back when I was even younger, Dr. Dre in the Surgery record. You know what I'm saying? I remember dude was a DJ
I
and
mean, turn off the lights.
turn off the lights and all that. Come on, like that's
They
the
weren't
same-
really. Yeah.
Nah, they wasn't doing
They weren't really out there. Easy probably was that one that was really out there.
Yeah.
You know, when I think about like Wu was really out there.
You know, it's interesting you
Like
say
that.
that. The one part with Wu that always made me say it's funny how you can change image too was the Jizza. Because I know the Jizza as the genius.
Did you?
And he was like Big Daddy Kane, Granddaddy IU like that.
No, I mean, yeah,
he was
you
like
even,
the lover boy.
you even go back to RZA when he was Prince. Was it Prince Hakeem?
It was, I know you're talking about. I can't think of the name.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not Prince Hakeem from
Nah. I know you're
Coming
talking
to
about.
America.
Yeah.
But I think that's how he started. How
Mhm.
with the top hat and all that.
But yeah, I was like, wow, you could change it. People believe it if it's sellable, if it's believable.
I think that's what happens a lot today.
Yeah. Oh,
I think
without a doubt.
a lot of artists, I think they're fabricated. I think they're like, oh, we can take this person. Would you be willing to do this for this amount of money? And if you're willing to do this for this amount of money, we can guarantee you a very lucrative career.
Mm.
But you're gonna have to do this. If you're willing to do that, then we can. And they may pick somebody. Hey, let's do. We're gonna take you. Hey, you would you mind getting some face tattoos?
Mm.
You know, I
Like
mean,
Island Boys, you'd be like
yeah,
the
we're gonna
Island
give you a
Boys.
couple mil. You're gonna be set up, but would you be willing to do? I think they do. Because
No, they do that.
they do
I'm
because
telling you,
historically we've seen it.
they do that. I remember when I got my first real deal. Right, I was about, I don't think I was 19. This was after the first deal I was telling you about earlier, but I was actually remember Gloria Estefan.
Mm-hmm.
Gloria Estefan, she had a studio she was working out of, and they was then trying to get into rap music, and they end up getting me and my friend. We was like the first little rap group out of Miami. They was starting to experiment with. We was doing our thing around, and somebody, I forgot how we got hooked up. I was so young, but anyway, we was in a major studio. They had a very nice studio, and we started just creating demos. And I never forget. We finally had a song that was attracting them, so we had a meeting. Our manager and them, they set us up in the meeting, and they was like, "Man, we really like your music. Uh, we love what you're doing, boom, boom." And here go the term. They said, they said, would you would you be willing to do? Let's the guy asked the other dude, put this on. So he played the tape, and it was Cypress Hill. If I could just kill a man. They wanted us to do music that was
Like
like that
them.
at the time because Cypress Hill was very hot.
Yes, they
I was
were.
like, and my music at that time, I had just got into like conscious music heavy. I was into my God body doctrine and all that. So all the music I was making was uplifting my people, and they liked the music, so they say. But then they wanted me to, in contrast, turn around and make murder music.
Mm.
I was like, wow. I'm talking about they had a nice lucrative little deal on the table, but I saw what the Jebusites wanted me to do.
Mm.
I was like, nah,
Jebusites.
I can't do that like that. I can't do that like that. I'm gonna let y'all have that. But I saw then how they had their finger on the pulse of recultivating and rebranding our music. You know what I'm saying? I was like, wow.
And they still do today.
Oh man,
they still got a pulse, and they still control the music, and they dictate how things take place. I mean, they are literally taking people to say, hey, we're gonna take you, we're gonna make you into this. If you agree, we'll make you two into this, and you will have a lucrative career. But this is what you got to do for the next
for sure.
for the next 5 years.
Sure. And that's how and then I was like, after that, it's just been one thing after another. It's like, nah, I can't compromise.
Yeah.
I can't compromise.
Yeah, I don't blame you, man. I don't blame you.
Yeah, you can't do that. The booty hole is still a virgin.
That's right, brother. That's right. Because they be telling some crazy stories.
I done seen some crazies with these guys, man. They sell their mama for fame or success, man. It's like they ain't got no integrity. Nobody's solid no more.
Nah.
Nobody's solid.
Nah.
You know
man.
Everybody stand on quicksand. Ain't nobody standing on concrete no more. Quicksand is the new ground, bro. Quicksand is the new ground. They talk a good talk, but nah, they ain't solid like that.
They not solid like that. Yeah, nah, I can see that. I can see just from social media is a very great place to see that.
Yeah. Because you can recreate and create any image you want on social media.
Any image you want on social media.
For what? Nobody don't know you. You be in your room and create. Like this you could be in Maui somewhere. You can make this like it's anywhere. And you right here off foot.
Yep.
Foot industrial, wherever you at. It's just a situation, you know what I'm saying? So it's crazy, man.
It's crazy, man. So I just got a couple more questions, man.
Oh, tell me. I'm enjoying this, man.
Solarians.
Oh, Solarians.
Let's talk about that. What makes that collective different, and how has being part of a group impacted your growth as an artist?
That collective is interesting. Solarians is it's a duo. Now I consider the Solarians duo probably one of the best duos when we talk about duos. And I'm saying it not just because I'm in there. I say it because me and my comrade, Andre 360, we make up the duo Solarians, and we have an album out right now. It's available on all streaming platforms. It's self-titled Solarians. Check it out. It's a very high vibratory album lyrically. And I like the album, and I put it up there because it's a nostalgic album. It's one of them albums like we was talking about. If you like real pure essence hip hop, you'll like it. But we was able to bring the new school with the old school sense of just feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And he and I, we volley lyrics back and forth very well. It's like I've known Andre 360 in a short period of time. That time probably being in, I'll say, 4 to 5 years, but it was like kismet spirits when we met. We're actually part of a super group. We're like a Wu Tang. It's about 9 of us, so we're
Mm.
part of a group. Our group is called the Mighty Vengers. Vengers is our group. Vengers meaning victorious, elevated natures, Jaw's children, and we're a super group. But within that super group are individual artists. I was an individual Aria artist. You also have Mike Chambers. You have Son the Great. You have Najee. You have Scorpius. You have P Smooth. You also have my man Obuya. Obuya is Big Nail. And all of us are individual artists. But me and Henri 360, we was like Red Man and
And meth.
Meth.
Woo!
We just had this chemistry
That was
with
my
each other.
that was
You
my
know what I'm
duo.
saying? So we end up making our own little offshoot group off that called the Solarians. And he and I, we go strong, and that's my comrade. But all us still a group. But
Mm-hmm.
he and I decided to make an album, and that's the Solarians. So we named ourselves that, and we named ourselves the Solarians because that's where we coming from. We coming from the essence, the soul with it, and we just wanted to really bring that back, that spirit and that feeling back. And I think we succeeded. That album is great. It's a great album. We're working on a new album now, but we're still pushing our solo
Yeah.
projects. But I find that to be the most taskful balance, having to do both of those as well. Because,
Mm.
I'm pushing my solo hard because I've always been a solo artist, but I also like the Solarian stuff. So having time to do that, doing Redd Fidel, and then he's also a family man with his own family and stuff like that. So us having to balance family with all these projects that we have on the table, it's
Mm.
taskful, but at the same time, I think when it's meant, there's no assignment too great that one can't accomplish. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? If you take, coordinate your time properly.
Yeah.
So it's cool. I love it.
Yeah, and Omri 360, he'll be on not next week, but the week after.
Cool. So
Yeah.
you'll get to see my brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, Henri 360. And it's funny, he from Philly. I'm from Miami, so it's like totally two different cultures, but we like brothers from the same mother, just mesh.
Mm.
I was like, wow, two different lingos, two different talks. So it's like, man, we give you the business on tracks. We
Yeah.
really do our thing together.
That's what's up.
So it works. Yeah.
Yeah,
and-
because we need. I mean, you talked about adult contemporary hip hop
yeah.
experience. We need people out here with real good artistry, real good lyricism, and just creativity.
For sure.
When I think about a group that's like that, they're out in you. I'm sure you're gonna know who they are, but Coast Contra,
Yes.
man,
Yes.
them boys.
Ain't they Ross Cars
Yeah.
songs?
Yeah, and Teacher Moses. Yeah. And so, but you know what's crazy is that they did not want to do it, and I get it. They didn't want to be a nepo baby. They didn't want to be like, well, my dad is Raz and my mom is Teacher, and it could be easy for us just to be like, hey, but they didn't want that. They were like, nah, and they got different flavors. They're from different
they
areas.
do.
They
They
got
do.
your man in there who I don't know where he's from, but of course he's rapping in English and Spanish.
Right.
And
Right.
killing it.
Yeah, they nice, man. They nice.
Nice.
They're what I like.
Yeah.
I like that. I
like
like
that.
But I always liked their father too.
Yeah.
Ross Cos was always dope.
yeah.
He was always dope. And it's funny, a lot of people don't realize there were and still are a lot of dope artists that came out of the West Coast. Like real rappers.
Real
I was into the hieroglyphics and I was into that whole movement. Dale the Funky
Mhm.
Homo Sapien, Saphir. I was into Far Side. I was into all of those guys, man. Like that, it was like that bohemian, eclectic
Yeah.
little vibe. A lot of people don't know Dale the Funky Homo Sapien is Ice Cube's cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah, them two cousins. So
Yeah.
it's like, the contrast between them as well. But it's like I was into that. And I was a backpacker like that.
Yeah.
I used to like the Native Tone. Those was my
Oh,
kind of,
man.
You know what I'm saying? X Clan was my crew.
Yeah.
People like Brother J and, like, listen to that now. It's like flawless. Like, oh my God, I can't believe they was saying this stuff back then.
Back then.
It was so high here. It was all here. Rap music now is down here. It's below the navel.
Right.
Back then it was from the throat chakra up to crown chakra. Now it's like everything below the navel.
Mm.
It's all sacral. It's sacral music. It's sacral chakra music.
Mm.
First place you feel it is here. You want to gyrate or you want to move something down
Yeah,
there.
yeah. That's what they.
Back
That's
then,
what they always talking
back
about.
then, it was like you hear it and you was like, oh boy, I'm
That neck
thinking.
was moving. You're like,
You
oh
was,
man,
oh
they
my
got me.
God. You know what I'm saying? Like they got me. I'm in the zone with it.
Right.
I'm in the zone. It's different. It's different.
Different.
Yeah.
It's different. Which is why I'm very appreciative of. We talked about in the beginning. Why can't older, what we will call older, I'm gonna call them veteran rappers, continue to make music today? And I don't think it's pushed as much as music would be today. I mean, you think about you had LL that dropped an album, Ghostface that dropped an album, which was actually dope.
Mm-hmm.
You had Raekwon that dropped an album, which Barry is it Bear Hill? That was a ooh, that was a dope song. Um I see their faces.
You can't forget about Nas. Can't forget
Nas
about
dropped an
Jada,
album.
Styles. All of them is dropped. They've been dropping music.
What's my man's name? They had a oh my God, they had a song called Saturday. It's Saturday,
Are
yo.
you talking about De La Soul?
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes,
they dropped it. They dropped it.
They dropped it, and it was dope.
Yeah.
But their albums don't get pushed. They don't get visibility. They don't get exposure. They don't get the same coverage. Same coverage.
That's why I think the media machine, the media,
yes,
that's what's happening.
They don't get the same coverage because I can guarantee you,
if they got that same coverage, it'll usurp what we hear now.
It sure would.
That's
and I don't think
they don't want to change the vibration.
They don't want to change the vibration.
They don't want to change the vibration.
Because
they know it would. If he usurped it, and that's right now is their cash cow. They do not want anything to affect their cash cow that's degenerating the minds of most of the listeners.
And they don't want it to they don't want those minds to be lifted up.
Oh no.
To rise up. No. To be elevated to a new level and thinking. Because
those kind of minds organize. Right now they're wild and they're chaotic. It's a disorganized noise. Back then it was organized noise.
It was organized noise. It was noise in some sense, but at least it was organized.
It's
you know what I'm saying?
Now, yeah.
You could bring people together to, as we say, to create that self-destruction. Yeah. And today you can't. You're not.
Can't get a song.
They are self-destructive.
They are the self-destruction.
You know what I'm saying? We talked about it then, and now we see the evidence of the change not happening, and people coming in and kind of changing the dynamics of the culture. And now we got people literally out here self-destructing.
Yeah,
and we can see it.
It's a sad reality, man.
Yeah,
I don't know what the state of rap music is going to be, man, in a few years.
Man, I haven't. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I figure I'll just keep contributing high vibratory music to it until I'm done, and that's my contribution. But I don't know, man. The machine has a hold on
it. If we were able to change the machine, then I think that'll give us the ability to establish a new foothold in hip hop. But until we change some of the dynamics in the machine, I don't think it's ever going to change because they're going to continue to drop. Now, the independent scene is fine, but the machine,
the mainstream, the most influential part of it, and then it's a conquer and divide because now they have gatekeepers, and the gatekeepers are already to some degree, I would say, bought. You got gatekeepers who they was once one of us, and now they're components of the machine, and it's a wrap. It's what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
I said it is, man. You can't start. It's Neuralink.
They were like, "Yo, we done kidnapped them. We Neuralink all them, right? That's right."
I was looking at the dude who got you saw the dude,
the new dude, the dude who's got the first one.
Yeah, man, they got him everywhere, man.
Why gotta be a black dude to be the first one, man? Like,
I think that was also interesting.
Why gotta be the black dude as the first Neuralink dude?
Because they know we'll go for it. I'm telling you, that's all.
Like, why you gotta be the first?
That's all set up too.
It's like how black people are the first people to die in movies. Like, why it had to be him?
It might be a situation where he's the first one they show him, but don't think that.
Don't think they ain't do trials.
Don't think nothing. He's the one that they promoting.
Yeah.
But don't think that. Yeah, it's a few of them.
Oh yeah.
They've been Neuralink, and they've been doing. It's some governmental Neuralink. People talking about he's shape-shifting. No, he's been Neuralink.
He's been Neuralink. All of a sudden, we're going to hear on the door. Hello. So earlier, they don't know about this conversation, but earlier we was talking about games. How we got time. I used to have my PlayStation here and all that stuff. So one of the games I used to play was Assassin. I still love it, Assassin's Creed.
I
And
love
so
that movie.
I love.
I never played games. I
I
don't know
love
about
the
the game, but
movie.
I
People
love the
hated the
movie.
people hated the movie.
That's one of my favorite movies.
I still love the Assassin's Creed
I'll
movie.
watch it right now.
Me too.
That's my
I will
movie.
watch that movie. I love Assassin's Creed movie.
I love it.
But I was playing the game one time, right? This tells you how things take place, because you were talking about the Neuralink, and all that stuff. In the game, the son was playing the video game, and the son was like, "Dad, there's something wrong with the thing, and it's doing something weird." And so the father calls, "Hey, we see that there's something happening in the game, and we're experiencing whatever they're experiencing, right?" And when they're on the phone with the tech is like, "Yeah, okay, cool. We'll send somebody over." Literally, as he's on the phone, he hears, and it's the enemy agency Abstergo coming to his door, like, "You found something you weren't supposed to find, and now we're here to collect you." But it was that quick.
Wow.
It's like they had sent agents directly to his house,
right.
within 5 minutes of him being on the phone making that phone call.
Wow.
But it's like, is that the reality in some capacity? It's like, if you do and say certain things and be, "Hello, we're here to collect you because you found out something you weren't supposed to."
Right.
So it's like, man,
I think it is. And then on
I
think on the 27th or 25th, you see Steven Spielberg about to drop Disclosure Day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's a huge movie. That's all they're talking about is Disclosure Day.
I want to see this.
It's about this government disclosing the whole alien phenomenon.
Oh, let's see.
The whole alien thing. And they always use him or some type of big movie to show you what they're doing. To some degree. But yeah, it's called Disclosure Day. Look it up. That's all they've been talking about.
Wow.
Yeah, Disclosure Day.
Disclosure Day. Man, okay, so how did you get your name? I didn't even ask you about that in the very
Redd
beginning.
Fidel?
Yeah.
I got the name. I actually used to go by Jahala. That was my name for a long time.
Okay.
Jahala. But I don't know, something hit me around 2000, I would say 9. And I was like, I've been this name for so long. I feel like I've evolved. I feel like I've kind of like outgrown it. I want to change my name. But I wanted something a bit more innocuous, something that does, because Jahala was like, to me, I felt like it was putting me in a box, because when you heard that, you already know I'm coming with some conscience.
You coming with some God body stuff. Yeah, I can already hear.
Yeah, it was, because it really was. That was how I was raised, Islamic, Islamic, and under Rastafarian, belief system. So I took the Jah part of Rastafari, we call God Jah, and Allah, and I put it together and make Jahala. Some people pronounce it Jah Allah, but you make a Leah song with the word to make Jahala. And I just feel like as I grew and evolved, I kind of outgrew that name and some of the concepts and precepts and the tenements of what those particular religions or way of thought, made you mandate yourself to. And I wanted something that I can be me, still be drop jewels, but be me and my funniness, be me. And if I felt like if I want to be on something, quote unquote, not so conscious, it wasn't restricting. I feel like I couldn't do anything outside of the box of what Jahala felt like. You know what I'm saying? And so I just, I came up with, I was vacillating around, and I was lottery around some names. And in Miami growing up, light skinned people like me, they call Red. Like a lot of when I was so young, everybody, hey Red, such and such, that was the nickname. So I remember I said, damn, everybody used to always call me Red. That was my name. And then I'm of Cuban ancestry, so of course Fidel Castro. Yeah. And so that still appealed to the rebel side of me, because at heart I'm very radical. You know what I'm saying? The sense of my idealism, is for a sense of how I view certain things. I'm very pro in a lot of my thought processes. And but at the same time, so I was like, okay, I can encapsulate that with Fidel, but then the red part of me is like, just such and such. So and it felt good when I said it, Redd Fidel. It had a little ring to it, and that's how I really came up with it. Just simple as that, nothing complex, no heavy thought. I was like, okay, just brought my ancestry together with something that was a colloquial name. Me coming up on the street, hey Red, such and such. And that's how I came up with it. Some people still call me. I go home now, hey Red, what's up, boy? I ain't seen you in a minute, boy. It's just what it was. You know what I'm saying? So, but the Fidel part, I threw on there.
Yeah, it's always amazing how we go through a shift.
Yeah. It was a shift. It was. I'm telling you, it was peeling at me, bro. I
Yeah.
was like, because my girl at the time, who was not my wife, I was like, man, I gotta change my name. She was like, but you been your name so long. I said, oh, no, I just feel like it. I done outgrew it. I feel like you know how snakes shed that old skin. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
I'm breaking out of that, and I'm glad I did. I got a plethora of music as Jahala, like really dope too. But Redd Fidel is the embodiment of, like, to me, I always say Jahala still writes the rhymes. Redd Fidel performs them.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Jahala is still the writer behind all of it, but Redd is who you get in presentation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if I was Jahala, then yeah, I'm a whole nother type. I'm Brother J all over again.
Hey, what's up, brother Jay? Yeah, you know,
Brother J mixed with Paris. Remember Paris?
I do remember Paris. That's right. I do remember Paris. Dang, I do. You know, so there's another brother I had on the show. His name is he's of oh man, I want to make sure I represent him right. FOH.
Fruit of FOH.
Yeah, it's FOH, right?
That's his name.
No. That's the Fruits of Islam.
FOI.
No, FOI. Yeah, he's FOI. Yeah, Fruits of Islam.
What's his name?
Danique.
Danique.
Yeah, Danique. DA-NEEK.
Okay, he sounds familiar.
Dude was dope.
Yeah, he rhymed, right? Yeah, he's dope. I think I know you talking
He's
about.
always wearing the bow tie with the
he's
suits
dope.
on.
Yeah, he's dope. Yeah, I know you talking about.
Yeah. So my homie is his manager.
Okay.
Dope rapper.
Yeah, he's dope.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's dope.
Oh my gosh, bro. Like,
yeah, he's real nice.
Real nice.
Yeah.
And so when I first met that brother, he came up here and did an interview. He's kind of saying some of the same things you were saying, but man, super dope. Just artistically, creatively, drop bars. You know what I'm saying? He used to go by a different name, and then he kind of like, I need to. And I think people go through that.
You do. If you're
think,
constantly growing, I feel like sometimes you should, like, and this is off the what we're talking about. This is a testament to growth. And I don't know your take on this person, but let's just say Malachi York. You ever heard of Malachi York?
Mm-mm.
Malachi York was the leader of the Nuwaubian Nation. You ever heard of the Nuwaubians?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Nuwaubian, Malachi York is now in jail. They trumped up some charges with him regarding some sexual allegations with kids or whatnot. So they always get us with drumming up stuff. All they gotta do is say that, and we fall for the banana in the tailpipe all the time. Well, anyway, he went through, must be like 5-6 different names though. Malachi Z York, I think, is his born name. Then he was Amanubi Ruakpata. Then I got part of the organization as far as his doctrines when he was Imam Isa.
Mm-hmm.
Then he was another name where he was such and such. Then he was another name, but him going through all the people was like, he don't even know he want to be. You know, we quick to judge that, and I was like, why is this man changing his name? But I realized what he did. He was taking his people, or those who follow him at the time, through all the major religious theologies. So if he was in Judaism, he was the rabbi. He was Rabbi Rabboni. That's his name, Rabbi Rabboni, such and such. Then when he was Christian, he was Dr. Malachi, such and such. Then when he was Islamic, he was Imam Isa, such and such. So he was bringing us and them through all those religious theologies to expose the hypocrisy and falsehood in it at the same time. So he needed to take you through that. Not tell you it was, but let's take you through that. Let's learn. Let's such as let me show you that, only to bring you out on the other side of the true thing of Nuwapu and what they call Nupu. And but they end up, he had a whole Tamaray that was set up in Eatonton County where they had the pyramids and stuff built. It was their own nation.
Wow.
It was everything. Really, really something that was not just talking about it, but doing it. And of course, the other folk came in there, man. You know how it go. They see it. Go. You know how I see it. They
can't have that.
Trumped up charges on them, and they shut it down, man. And then they, again, some of your own people turned on him. You had a lot of the people say that he was doing such and such, and then once the charges was set and he was put in place, now they people come and recant and say that they was forced to, and the FBI and the feds. It's too late now. The man got over 100. They get a man over 100 some years, man, and he already was older. 100 some years. That's unheard of. I want to say it was like 130, 200. I think it was 135.
He's not gonna live all that out. Come on now.
135 years, man. But there's been nobody, and it's been some great teachers, but I don't think there has been anyone on that level of master teachership.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? As far as what he was saying, I wasn't a follower. I wasn't a follower, but I can give homage where I say, yo, dude was really on something else. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? No matter what it was, he was touching on something basic. But I
Right.
only use that to say, give an example of how you can break the crucible of certain thoughts, and
Mm.
a name is a tone, and the tones that people don't realize. When I say, like, my real name is uh Marcel, so when I say Marcel, that has its own tone. You know what I'm saying? Fidel has its own tone. Jahala has its own
See
tone.
how
You
you
know what I'm saying?
pronounce
See
it.
how time,
You like Jahala, right? It's
Jahala.
how
You know
you
what I'm saying?
pronounce
So
it,
it's
right?
like everything has its tone.
Right.
So that causes a different vibration.
Mm.
Different elemental comes into play when that, and the elemental is a different force that comes into play. So, people don't realize it's that deep, but them other folk know it.
Yeah.
Other folk know it. The folk who study you know it.
Mm-hmm.
Because people be studying us. They study you. They know you more than you know yourself. And that's why they
do.
got you in that situation, young man, because they know you.
They
They know
do.
how you going to react. They know how you react. And now that they done gave your boy 35, I think 35 or 32 years
Who's
for,
that? Carmelo?
yeah. I think that's like, the number may not be right, but they done found him guilty. They know how you going to react when they found the little Asian man not guilty for killing the boy. You know what I'm saying? They know exactly what
They know
you're going to do.
exactly.
And
And they know exactly
and you know what they know what you're gonna do?
nothing. Well, they know that we're gonna speak out a little bit.
Oh,
We're
that's
gonna
all we
get
gonna
some out.
do. And we're gonna go right back to eating
get some
Chinese
Al
food.
Sharpton involved. We're gonna get some other.
And we're gonna go back to
And then
eating
we're gonna
Chinese
go.
food.
And
We're
we're
gonna
gonna
go back to the nail salon.
yeah.
And then now they got the Asians getting bold where they all on there talking trash. The Asian dude talking about what you ninjas gonna do. We got our own Chinatown. We got such and such. Y'all ain't gonna do nothing. You need us, but when they bold now,
Yeah.
and they can honestly do that because you gonna go back to
You're
them
gonna go
anyway.
back. They organize. That's the one
They
thing.
organized.
That's the one thing is that they're organized.
Very organized.
I saw and then I got one more question for you. I saw a clip. Was it in the movie? I think it was in the movie where like a black gangster went to like a China mafia guy,
Mm-hmm.
and the China mafia guy was like, "Man," he said, "y'all got all this stuff." He said, "But one thing y'all don't got, y'all ain't organized." He said, "If y'all were organized, y'all could really take over, but y'all ain't. Y'all ain't organized, and y'all spend y'all money in everywhere else except your own community. Y'all don't own nothing. You don't build nothing. You're not investing into your own community." He was like, "So y'all not organized in any way." He said, on the flip side, we organize. We invest in our own. And I can tell you firsthand, when somebody comes over from China, they taking care of that people. They got a house. You staying at the house. They paying this. They're gonna give you a thing set up here.
Mm-hmm.
Like they gonna ensure that people are. But we don't. We as a collective community.
No. We don't
do
even want our
not
family
do
members
that.
to live with us.
I know.
What? But that, man,
They gotta go.
You gotta go.
Family members gotta go.
It didn't used to be like that.
It didn't.
It didn't used to be like that.
It didn't.
Sometimes.
Well, when you think about that, those cultures, everybody understood the roles that they played in those cultures and what was required of them.
Mm-hmm.
So they knew that if I'm coming over here, I had to do X, Y, and Z in order to maintain. And if I didn't, they shipping me back. They going like you're not contributing in the way that you're supposed to for the betterment of the community. You can't. We got to ship you back, and they would ship you. They would ship, and I've heard, and I know people firsthand.
They ship them back.
Ship them back.
Yeah.
And it's like, and we're not at a point where we are doing that because and they got us because we're so caught up in sports and fame and rap and singing and we don't have time to collect. Even our rich people don't even want to help support the people and build infrastructure in the way that.
Hey, man, on some level.
Anyway, we supposed to be talking about music,
That's music. That's what we talked about in music before.
But that is what.
That's
right.
what we talked about in music. It's inevitable to actually go this route in conversation because that's what makes the music.
That's right.
These are the topics that music needs to talk about, and that's what scares them. Because when we were talking about that, they was like, no.
We
that's
need to.
Because hip hop then was actually an extension of the Black Panther Party. They had already annihilated Huey and them because Huey and them was a faction of the Nation of Islam when they got rid of Malcolm and boom, they thought that they kind of disbanded. Then here come Huey and them, the Huey situation. Then you had John Africa and them in Philadelphia where they done dropped a bomb on the whole block. Like you dropped a bomb on these people. You bombed your own country.
Like
you
they
bombed
bomb
these
you.
people.
They
You
bombed
literally
Black. They burned.
You know what I'm saying?
Bomb Black Wall Street.
Yeah, you bombed. I mean, so here come hip hop with this radical message. Now we gotta do something about this. And remember, it was a time in hip hop where the trend was wearing black medallions.
Yeah.
The X hat was the most. The X hat was the most sold item.
I had an X hat.
The X hat.
I had an African medallion. Well, wear it around.
That was cool. That was our gold chain.
That's how you supposed to.
That's how you had it. That shit. All that was cool. All that was the trend. You didn't have that on. It's like, what up, God? Spit the facts. But them folks like, oh no. Because within somewhere there's a Messiah in one of them. One of them, they know there's a Messiah in one of them. Tupac was one of them.
We can't have 4 to 5 people, black people in the lunchroom together.
No.
You know that was a thing. In corporate America, you can't have 4 or 5 black people sitting together at the lunch table.
That's crazy, ain't it?
Crazy. And they watching. They will report you. They will report you.
That's crazy.
I remember sitting out in the cafeteria one day, and it was a couple of brothers. We were hanging out, eating lunch, and a sister walked up and was like, "Hey, y'all know y'all ain't supposed to be sitting there eating together. Y'all need to add some unseasoned to this table that y'all at." It was like,
but see, that's the problem I got though. Why we can't? And even if you say we can't, we gonna do it. We're gonna do it anyway.
So we sat there. We all the brothers sat, ate lunch, and laughed. Professionals suited up, doing what we do
for sure.
And we kept it moving. But oh yeah, they be looking. But nothing happens when you see a bunch of other people from whatever other cultures and races sitting at the lunch table there. It's expected. But when you see, they got to be up to no good. They all sitting together.
Sometimes
they plotting.
Sometimes I think the water fountain should have stayed separated.
Yeah.
We had so much more.
But they got they got to go. They got to go. 3 miles to go to the bathroom. When I was watching what's the name of the movie with the 3 ladies who worked at NASA?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't think of it, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
they were the mathematicians.
Yeah. And Taraji was like, he was like, Kevin Costner was like, "Where you at?" Taraji was like, "Well, I had to walk 3 miles to go to the bathroom."
And I say that facetiously in that regard, but I mean more so like
I know what you mean.
In the sense of when we was forced to like really have our own, we succeeded well that way. Like we really had our own. You spoke of Black Wall Street. You spoke of Rosewood. You spoke of all these places, and it's like we really were good at having our own. Even down to Auburn Avenue. Like all that was like you had barbershops, you had shoe shine spots, you had everything. We had everything we needed. But soon as you were allowed to actually now eat with them, ride with them, see inside their lens, what happens is what you didn't, what we wasn't ready for was the natural act of assimilation. And you assimilated now to the point where you didn't actually forgot who you were. And you ain't even looking at you don't even trust your business people no more. Like we done assimilated so deeply into the psyche of them, like we're really we kind of more European minded. So the European, the detriment European black mind is called the ninja. That's the European black mind.
Yeah, the
ninja. The ninja is the ninja. That's the worst disease. That's worse than COVID, Ebola, everything else. Because we breed the ninja. There's a lot of little ninjas being born. All over.
Ninjas.
See them ninjas
all
born.
over.
They ninjas everywhere. You go to the store right now, a bunch of little ninjas.
Ninjas in Paris, dude.
Everywhere. Ninjas everywhere, boy. And that's just for real. That's
right.
To me. And then you got ninjas. Then you got those who got hardworking African American. I use that term, and I'm not really subscribing to that. But you got hardworking, African American people who want better, like yourself. Or your
I'm
family.
black.
Thank you.
Like
but you get these. You get a lot of these folk. They be what's politically correct. But
you know how far removed I am probably from Africa.
Okay,
like,
thank you for saying.
I'm black.
But
I'm a black man.
Then you got black folk who stand on black principle. That black Kuchachaka Leah, Kuumba, Nia, who stand on purpose, and then you got the ninjas.
You got the ninjas.
I got to deal with the ninjas.
You got to deal with the ninjas.
The ninjas. Oh
man.
My God. And this is what it is, man. This was a good conversation, man. Even though we talked about everything
Nah, that's
that
hey,
and kind of encompass music
yeah,
and the
yeah,
whole
yeah.
nine, man. I just enjoyed it. Sometimes you don't get to talk with. I'm so much with family a lot, just building
Mhm.
with brothers that actually are like minded, and
Yeah.
we from the same era on that,
Hey,
especially on the music, man. I could
that's
do that
right.
music all day. I love it, man, because my wife Green, she don't know what I was like, what you was doing? You must be was in the house. You don't know no, you don't know. All you know is the mainstream kid and play. You don't know about KMD. You don't know about none of these real
She
hip
walk
hop.
around doing the kid and
You don't know
play
about
thing.
Stetson Sonic. You don't know about
That's the sign.
Ultramagnetic
Oh my
MCs.
gosh.
You don't know about nobody. I need a hip hop in here, Robbie.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think my wife really knows about. I mean, she knows hip hop in some capacity, like, but she don't know it like how we know it,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that
yeah,
though.
for sure,
Like,
for sure.
yeah, yeah, man. So last question, brother. So when people look back at Redd Fidel 10 years from now, 20 years from now, what do you hope they say that you contributed to hip hop?
Man, I would hope people say I contributed my truth, as well as my vulnerability. I give a lot of my a lot of music, a lot of the music that I create is coming from a something that I've experienced, and a lot of times I put it in third person, or I try to make it where it's more relatable to the person, or I might use fictitious names, but the story is actually something that's more kind of autobiographical, and I hope they just gain because they gain some sense of connection with it because
Mhm.
it's nothing like when I run across somebody and they say, "Hey man, I remember that song you did, such and such, boom, 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 man. I really like that song. It touched me. Like I got this album I did back in the day called My Negativity.
Mm.
And My Negativity
My
was like,
negative.
that's what that was the name of it. It was an EP I did when I first got here, like around 95. I dropped the EP in 97 called My Negativity. And that's when I introduced my concepts of niggas.
Mm.
And what I did, the concept was taking niggas and gods fused together to create niggas. And I was really the first person on that. Then I heard Georgia Meter,
Mm-hmm.
the poet girl. She had this poem she started going around doing called Niggas. So she took it on the mainstream level, but on the underground music level, I was pumping my whole nigga nation. I had
Mm.
a nation of dudes behind me. We was niggas, and everywhere we go, we had our black lion battalion, had our niggas, and we had it was like our nigga mindset and our God mindset coming together to create the most dangerous force that
Mm.
America could possibly imagine. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So we was on that back then. So and I got cats still be coming to me like, yo, man, I still be bumping that nigga hard. And I'm like, that lets me know that that was a seed that was planted. That was a seed, and the people feel that's that Protestant feeling in them, that wanting to rise up. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, people need something that's gonna help them do that, but in a way that it encapsulates all people. I don't want to just kind of single out just one set of people. I want all people to understand that this fight that we're all in
Right.
against this machine, because this
Yeah.
machine
Yeah.
ain't just about black no more. It's about all us to some degree, whether you like it or not. All us in this, and if we don't see what's going on, then we all sheep. Cause that's what
Mhm.
we all sheeple at the end of the day.
Mhm.
And it's like we really all need to pay attention to this, because Orange Man, who in the seat right now, you know what I'm saying? That
On sherbet.
orange sherbet, like I mean, like these folk they don't care about their own, so you know they don't care about you.
Mm.
They'll murder their own just to get their agenda across. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? So it's like we all need to be somewhat touched from a place of uprising and worrying about our families and the next generations to come. Or we gonna be like Krypton, where Superman and his people had to leave they planet because the planet
Right.
was
Planet
destroyed.
blowing, just getting
It's gonna
destroyed. He
be
the
like
last son of
that's
Krypton.
gonna be Krypton. You know what I'm saying? Son of Jarrell,
Mm-hmm.
kneel before Zod.
Old boy was like, old boy was like, oh God, Zod. I was like, you are the son of our jailer.
Son of our jailer, kneel. That's one of my favorite movies too, boy. Son of our jailer.
That's one of my favorite. Oh man, I love Superman too.
Hey, but you see what he and they
Love it.
you see what was the name of the thing that they jailed him into? Remember what it was
Oh yeah,
called?
it was
The Phantom Zone.
Phantom Zone. That's right.
Think about it, the Phantom Zone. Well, that's what we all at in the
The
Phantom Zone.
Phantom Zone.
In the mind, we in the Phantom
And
Zone.
the only reason why they broke out of that Phantom Zone because Superman decided he wanted to shoot that elevator up with the bomb in it and it blew up, and that's how they got
That
out of it.
nuclear and what we going through now, nuclear situations. It's all relative.
Yeah. And then they released him. And they flying around like, which was weird. They were like,
Yep. And they got him back in at the end, though, right? What? How did they? How did they
nah, they
destroy?
fell into the
What happened at
Fortress
the
of
end?
Solitude.
Oh, okay, they did. I couldn't
Yeah.
remember. Okay.
Remember Lois punched the lady and she
Oh
fell
yeah,
into the
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
And
yeah,
old boy
yeah.
was like,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
he
yeah,
fell
yeah,
down the
yeah, yeah,
stairs.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 for
And he
sure.
picked up Zod and was like, and
Yeah,
threw him into,
throw
yeah,
him
yeah.
into.
They're inside the fortress. They're in the Fortress of Solitude still
Okay,
today.
okay.
Are they dead?
I don't know.
I don't think they're dead. Because he didn't kill them.
No, he didn't kill him.
He just threw them in the
So what
Fortress
do
of
they eat?
Solitude.
How they eating?
I
How
don't
they
know.
drinking? Is there any food in the
I don't
Fortress of
know.
Solitude?
like,
Are there breatharians? like what's
I
going
don't
on?
know. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where they at. They in the bottom of the Fortress of Solitude.
Oh,
That's all I
man.
know.
See, these are questions that real hip hoppers ask.
That's right. Where they at today?
We
And why
would
does Superman give up his powers for Lois Lane? Like,
come on.
I'm not doing that.
It's funny how her name Lois rhymes with lowest. Leave it right there. And her last name is Lane, the lowest lane.
The Lois and Lane.
Think about it now. The lowest lane
Lane.
you
How
could
many
possibly ride in.
Right.
And he rode in that lane
And he gave her them powers for
and gave up his
the
powers.
Lois Lane.
And they became mortal and got his behind whooped from the truck and they got
My blood.
he had never seen his blood.
He was like, my blood.
He thought he was still
my
bad.
blood?
Nah, baby, you Clark
Nah,
Kent.
you
now.
Clark Kent, boy.
It's-
You.
she don't-
I love it. I love it, man. It's been a dope conversation, brother, man, for sure.
definitely, man.
Man, ladies and gentlemen, man, thank you very much for tuning in once again. Matter of fact, let people know where they can find you, bro, so they can.
Oh, you can
connect.
find me. Anyone can find me on Instagram. I'm at Instagram at Redd Fidel. Also on Facebook at Redd Fidel, and I'm also on YouTube at The Real Redd Fidel and TikTok at Redd Fidel as well. And as far as my music is available on all major streaming platforms. So type in Redd Fidel. That's with 2 D's, REDD FIDEL, and enjoy the music and become part of the movement. Look forward to have you on board.
For sure. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you very much for tuning in to another episode right here on the Indie Unplugged on We Create Music TV. Thank you just for tuning in. Once again, make sure to support us as well. You know, we're a growing channel for the independent music creatives. Appreciate your support. And y'all have a good night. Whenever you watch it, morning, day, night, whatever. Peace.